Islam Makhachev represents the new era in the UFC. At one point, obviously the new era of the UFC was the Conor McGregor era, the trash-talking era. But now, this era is all about the respect, the competition, the whoever's the best will fight for the belt next. And I know that won't always happen, but it is extremely good to see Charles Oliveira, someone who doesn't even speak English, and Islam Makhachev, a name that most people can't even pronounce. And when they fight, it's the biggest, most anticipated fight card of the entire year. Honestly, this fight card reminded me a lot of UFC 229, and the reason why is because whenever Khabib was going up and fighting against Conor McGregor, we didn't really know how good Khabib was, because he had fought pretty good guys, but he hadn't fought the top of the division, kind of like Islam Makhachev. In really all of Islam's fights up until this fight, he really didn't even have to do much striking. So we didn't know if he had hands, we didn't know if he had kicks, really nothing. But really in this fight, he showed to be better in nearly every aspect of the game. Now that's not to give any disrespect to Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, in my opinion, fought a great fight. He fought his fight of chaos. Islam Makhachev honestly just showed to be the better fighter in almost every single aspect of the game. Even whenever they were both dry within the first minute, Charles pulled Islam on top of him. And again, he is completely fresh, completely dry, and he threw up submissions, but he could not get anything going. And I think it was after about a minute, 2 minutes, something like that, I think Charles started to understand, okay, I'm not gonna be able to submit this guy off of my back. This guy is not on my level jiu-jitsu wise, but he is good enough to where he can maul me on top and doesn't have to worry about submissions from my back. The game plan of Islam Makhachev was amazing as well. If you notice inside the fight, Islam never tried to take down Charles with a single or a double leg. He only took him down from the body lock whenever he was tripping him, whenever he was judo throwing him. He always made sure that he was not giving up his neck to Charles. So Charles being on his back in the first round, again, is something that it kind of looked like he was completely okay with. Maybe not something that was his first option, but just like in all of his other fights, he was completely okay with being on his back because he has so much belief in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But at the start of the second round, you could absolutely see that Charles did not want to be on his back anymore. He did not feel like he could get a submission off of his back with Islam on top of him. And that's where you saw Charles being a lot more hesitant in throwing crazy wild things from that fear of being taken down. It's the exact same thing, again, like what happened in the Khabib-Conor fight, where Conor, it's not that Khabib's a better striker than Conor is, but how he dropped Conor was with the threats of the takedown. And with Islam, it's not that Islam is a better striker or a better jiu-jitsu artist. It's just that base of wrestling is so much stronger than everyone else that it just enhances everything because everyone has to respect it so much that it makes everything better. After Khabib's retirement, there were so many questions on how far he could have gone. But now in this new era, Islam Makhachev doesn't seem to have those issues holding him back. I could see Islam just running through people for the next while. When Charles Oliveira won the lightweight belt, it was a feel-good moment, but for a lot of people, they kind of saw this as, wow, that's awesome, but I could definitely see him losing in the future. With Islam beating Charles Oliveira the way that he did, this feels a lot like a Jon Jones, where this guy is going to be champion for a long, long time. Hey, and if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I put out new videos every single week, many times more than that. Obviously, that would help me a whole heck of a lot. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.